Welcome to a new series of Japan travel vlogs. There's so much coming up. We're starting with a travel day, flying from London Heathrow to Tokyo Haneda Airport in Japan with British Airways. It's a 14-hour flight. I'll also show you what it's like arriving in Tokyo and taking the train into the city. The night before, we stayed at the Atrium Hotel Heathrow, which is right by Hatton Cross Tube Station, just one stop away from the terminal. There was a nice view of the planes from our room, and staying so close meant we didn't have to rush in the morning. We've just been for a ride on the Pods because we got here early, we had a bit of time to kill, and they're so cute. The Pods are driverless vehicles on a track. If it's quiet, you get a little pod all to yourself. Here we go. We're speeding up. They're actually supposed to be a way to get to the car park or to the Thistle Hotel, but you can go on them for free if you want to.
Hello, where do you want to go? Is that okay? Please let people off the pod before you get in.
Row of pods behind us.
Full model of a pod.
Fake pod. All British Airways flights go from Terminal 5. It was pretty busy that morning. For food, there's Wagamama, and I had a nice avocado toast at Giraffe. Our flight's at 1 p.m. At the moment it's 11:45. It's a 14-hour flight from London to Tokyo. So we get to Tokyo at 11 a.m. so we've got to sleep on the flight. I'm trying out a new strategy this time. I tried to get as little sleep as possible last night, so I only slept for 4 hours. If I look a bit tired, that's why. So hopefully I'll get some sleep on the flight. We'll see how it goes. In any case, I'll take you along with me the whole 14 hours. This time it was a bus to the plane. I much prefer when it's a sky bridge. Is it called a sky bridge or an air bridge? Could this be our plane? Looks like it. It's been taped up. They broke the seal. Thank you. Oh, it's business class. That would be so nice. This must be us, it's premium. Premium economy always seems to be a really small section of the plane. On this one, the seat configuration's 232, which is great if there's just two of you. You have to pay to choose your seats. We picked the seats on the left because once I had this amazing view of Mount Fuji as we arrived in Japan. Fingers crossed. Turns out the flight isn't 14 hours long, it's actually only 13. Easy. Today we're in World Traveller Plus, which is premium economy with British Airways. I always think premium isn't luxurious, but it's what you wish economy would be. We've got a bit more legroom and it's a bit more comfortable. And with British Airways you get an upgraded meal as well. Today we're on a 7879. I think this plane hasn't been refurbished yet, so it's got the slightly older entertainment system. You've got some USBs for charging, and it's really nice having this footrest. This seat rest goes up and down. These bits don't move, but I just realised you could tilt it forward, so you've got something to rest your head on a bit. I always used to think it wasn't worth upgrading to premium economy. You do get a bit more space. Honestly, if you're taller, I think you'd feel the benefit a lot more. Phil has a bad back and he finds premium a lot more comfortable.
Have you not online form?
Yes.
Yeah, you've got the QR code.
Yes.
Lovely, thank you.
There was just an announcement they were coming through with landing cards, which are the forms you used to fill in before Visit Japan Web existed. And when they brought the forms around, they asked if you'd done the online forms and had your QR code, because if you have that, you don't need to fill in the paper forms anymore. I definitely recommend doing Visit Japan Web and getting all that paperwork sorted before you go, because it's so much easier when you arrive in Japan. If you do the paper forms, you have to queue up at a separate place, and sometimes it can take longer. Here's the menu, let's see what they've got. There's 3 choices for the main course: dessert, cheese and crackers, and then we get breakfast before we land. Here's the choice of drinks. Because it's British Airways, they've highlighted the breakfast tea. Here's the pillow in premium economy. It feels really nice and soft, and everything's so matching on British Airways. And here's the blanket. I think you might get a slightly better one in premium compared to economy, and that feels really nice and soft too. It's a bit quilted. These are the headphones they give you. I always bring my own because it really helps to have noise cancellation in your headphones. Even if you're not watching anything, you can have noise cancellation on, and it takes away the noise of the plane, so it makes it a little bit easier to sleep. And when you're watching something, you don't have to have it on at full volume. We get a little goodie bag of treats. Let's see what's inside. There's some socks. These are really soft. An eye mask. Some lip balm. Apparently this is specially formulated for when you're flying in a plane. I don't know how, but there you go. A toothbrush and a teeny tiny toothpaste and a pen. Always useful. We're all stocked up for drinks. They gave us 2 drinks in the drink service and then asked if I'm having wine at dinner. So I've got that all ready to go. And we got some snacks, some pretzels. On to an important point, the entertainment. There's quite a lot of films on here. Full choice is 138 films. That's quite a lot to choose from. There's some new films and older films. Bug's Life. It's quite an old one. Avatar, Barbie. I might watch Beetlejuice, Better Man, Cars. So there's kids films and adult films. Here's the new films. This is in May 2025. The Complete Unknown. I saw that at the cinema. I might watch A Real Pain. I don't know if it's any good or not. I always like watching the flight path to see where we are. Now in London it's 2 p.m. and in Tokyo it's 10 p.m. and we'll be arriving at 10:34 a.m. so that's why we've really got to sleep. Oh, we're going over Belgium already. That seems really quick. There's someone with a baby up at the front. I hope they're going to be good. It's pretty fancy. The window, instead of a blind that comes down, the window's got this dimming feature. Makes the colours look really nice. I think we're fully dimmed now. So now I just got to decide what to watch first. I might go for Beetlejuice. Here's Phil's meal. He went for the sticky chicken and I've got the vegetarian meal, the lacto ovo VLML. The starter looks good. Edamame salad. Got some cheese and crackers. Nice bread roll. Here's my main meal. I've got the ricotta mezzaluna, which is like ravioli by the looks of it. Nice pasta dish. As it's a flight to Japan, you get chopsticks. Here's Phil's sticky chicken with rice. One of the meals smells really nice with ginger. Mine's actually really good. I like it when you get pasta on a plane, and curries are often really good too. Cheers, kanpai. Soon after the meal, they dimmed the lights so everyone could sleep, or try to. Sleeping on planes is so hard. The baby was actually pretty quiet, but the guy next to me across the aisle had a cold and kept coughing every time I started to drop off to sleep. I really wished I could get away from him. The last thing you want is to get sick before you've even started the trip. On the bright side, the sunrise looked pretty cool through the tinted windows. And just like that, we've got an hour left in the flight. At the moment it's 9:40 a.m. in Tokyo, 1:40 a.m. in London, and we'll be there in an hour. We just had our breakfast. The main meal was full English or an omelette. I can never deal with that sort of thing in the morning, so I just had the fruit salad. There was also a mini muffin, but I didn't eat that. I couldn't deal with that right now. I always feel a little bit rough at the end of a flight. Actually, on the way back, I felt quite good after the flight, which is unusual for me. Could it be because of the Bacardi sweat I downed at the airport, full of electrolytes? So I fell asleep watching Beetlejuice, so I had about an hour or two of sleep at the start of the flight. And then after that, it felt like I was just sitting here with my eyes shut. But usually when that happens, you have slept a bit. It just doesn't feel like it. I'll be glad to get off the plane, to be honest. We're just going over Lake Biwa. They said it's going to be about 40 minutes to Ulan. Look, there's Gifu. That's where we're going to be going. And the mountains of the Alpine route. Maybe that bit. Somewhere around here. I don't think we'll be getting any Fuji views today. It's so cloudy. It's supposed to be really rainy today.
Anyway, I'm not going to disturb you.
Yeah, you have a great time.
Enjoy.
So we've just come off the plane. The time is 10 to 11. So I'll see how long it takes to get through the arrivals process. We've made it through arrivals. Quite a few people said they wanted to see the arrivals process at the airport in Tokyo. Unfortunately, you're not allowed to film anything there or have your camera out, so I'll just tell you about what happened. The time now is 11:30, so it took 40 minutes to get through all of that, and now we're in the arrivals lounge, free to go in Tokyo. The thing that took a bit of time was waiting for the bags to come out. There weren't long queues on anything else. I think a lot of people are worried about horror stories about long queues at arrivals, but I think it just depends on how many planes are arriving at the same time. So the first thing we did, we got funneled through to an area where we could scan our QR code for Visit Japan Web. There were loads of booths set up. You had to scan your passport, scan your QR code, and there's a touch screen where you just answer a couple of the questions that are already on Visit Japan Web about what you're bringing in and whether you've been arrested, that sort of thing. It was actually really easy, and they had a lot of booths, and they had staff there to help you out as well if you had any problems. That only took about 2 minutes. It was really quick. If you haven't done Visit Japan Web, they had paper forms there just like they had them on the plane, and they had separate routes to go through the rest of the process if you got paper forms. But I definitely recommend doing Visit Japan Web if you can. Then we went through the passport booths. Remember that if you're getting a rail pass, either a regional rail pass or the JR pass for the whole of Japan, you need to get a stamp in your passport. I don't think that would be a problem. It seemed like everyone was going through the gates with people who put the stamp in your passport automatically, but it's just something to remember. I think the automatic gates are just for Japan residents, but that may change in the future. Then we picked up our bags at the baggage carousel, and then we went through the customs desk. They just took our passport and we went through. It was really quick, and there was hardly any queue. Each one of them took about 2 to 5 minutes each. The only bit that took any time was waiting for the bags to come out, because when we first got there was nothing on the carousel like normal when you take a flight. Everything else had a really short queue. Now we're looking out for signs to trains, so we're going to take the Keikyu Line into Tokyo. Oh, there's a sign to it over there. The monorail is that side, and the Keikyu Line is this side, and there's information about buses on the right there. All the signs are in English. Oh, it's got a hot spring bath. Could do with that right about now. These are the ticket machines for the monorail, and just to the right of that is the JR East Travel Service Centre. If you're picking up your JR pass, if it's a pass for the whole of Japan or from JR East, that's where you can pick it up. I believe they also have Suica cards there. Yes, they have Welcome Suica there as well. That's a temporary version of a Suica card that's just for tourists. Here's all the times for buses, and there's ticket machines to buy bus tickets there as well. That's just next to the Keikyu Line entrance. And all of this is for Haneda Airport. There's also Narita Airport in Tokyo. That one's a bit further away from the city. This one's the best one if you do get a choice. It's really quick to get into the city. Platform 1 on the right is for Terminals 1 and 2. We'll be taking the other side towards Shinagawa, which is where we're going. That's on the Yamanote line.
That's escalator.
Oh yeah, escalators up there, and there are lifts behind us. For city centre and Shinagawa, that's what we want. Oh, the platform's right here. Right, this is supposed to be how to get to Ueno National Museum, but it shows the train lines, Haneda Airport, and the Keikyu Line takes you into Shinagawa, and here's the Yamanote line that goes around the city, and the Chuo line that goes across the city. We're taking the Keikyu Line because it goes to Shinagawa Station, which is closer to our hotel. Shinagawa is a Shinkansen station, so if you're taking the bullet train straight away towards Osaka and Kyoto, you can take the Keikyu Line straight there. There's also the option of the monorail, which goes to Hamamatsucho Station. They both cost a similar price and take the same amount of time, about 15 minutes. You can use your IC card, your Suica card for both. Buses cost more and take longer, but can be more convenient if you don't want to carry your luggage or deal with the trains straight away. It's always such a strange feeling on these travel days when you're feeling fuzzy after the flight. The train goes through some quite normal looking parts of the city. It's an exciting day for you, arriving in Japan at last, but for everyone else, it's everyday normal routine. Also, that feeling of how everything's just a little bit different, how things look, the sounds, even how the air smells, is so much more intense when you first arrive. It kind of wears off as your trip goes on. We just spotted a special limited time stamp rally outside the ticket office in Shinagawa Station. It seems to be really popular. There was a whole queue of people waiting for it just now. There's two. Oh, they're the same.
Oh, one of them came out better.
There is a proper leaflet to collect them all in the stamp rally. I just put it in my stamp book. Shinagawa is such a busy station. We just got some admin done here at Shinagawa Station while we're on our way to our hotel. There's a JR East office here, so I picked up our tickets for Grand Class for the Shinkansen. That was actually really easy. I booked them online on Ekinet, which is JR East reservation site, and the email had a QR code on it. I just scanned the QR code at the ticket machine. The staff helped me do this, and it printed out the tickets. Very easy, and there were staff there to help you. There's also a JR Central office here at Shinagawa Station, so I went along there to collect our regional rail passes. I had a voucher just like you get for the JR pass for the whole of Japan, so I queued up at the desk. It was quite a long queue. It always tends to be quite a long wait at the JR pass counter because it's quite a lengthy process when they do the paperwork to issue your pass. So we picked up the rail passes, and then I made a seat reservation. The process for reserving seats with a regional pass is slightly different from a JR pass for the whole of Japan. So I asked the staff to help us, and he said it's not this ticket machine, and he went running around the corner to a different one. He took all our details and went off to make the seat reservation for us. And then he came running back and turned out that wasn't the right machine and took us to another one, and he sorted it all out for us. That guy was so helpful. Here's the JR Central ticket office. The one we were just at was the JR East ticket office. The JR Central one has the orange logo, and JR East has the green logo. If you've booked your Shinkansen tickets on Smart EX, you don't have to collect them. You can if you want to, but you also have the option of just scanning the QR code at the ticket gates or allocating them to your IC card, your Suica card. I have a video all about Smart EX with the details and how to buy train tickets online. Finally, my IC card needs credit, so we're topping it up. These machines only take cash.
Please insert your IC card in the tray.
We want to add 5,000 yen. Insert your cash.
Reporting ticket information. Please do not move the card. Charge complete.
Has that changed? Done. Phil's using mobile Suica this time, which you can top up by Apple Pay, but that's only for iPhone. I have an Android, so I'm still using my physical card, but I'm fine with that because I found the cutest pass holder. So that's what it's like taking a 14-hour flight and arriving in Tokyo. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. I always try and reply to comments, and I'll see you next week with more Japan videos every Thursday.